So a little something about our nearly 6 month old puppy, Roman. He hates to go outside when it's raining or when it's been raining. He hates wet grass. He particularly hates taking care of his business on wet grass, like to the point where he refuses to do it. And a few weeks ago, it had been raining and the ground was really wet. The grass was really wet and it was still kind of raining a little bit, and he needed to go. Number two. It was obvious. He was barking. He was whining. It was clear he needed to go, number two. But when he saw that it was raining and the grass was wet, he just wouldn't even go out the door. As a matter of fact, he was laying in the doorway, almost defiant, saying, "I ain't going out there if the grass is wet." And I'll be honest with you, I was getting very annoyed with him. I was getting down there and I was saying, "Roman, you better get out here right now because I'm sick of dealing with this. You get out here and go number two." That's the kind of stuff I was saying to him. I was just getting so frustrated, kind of raising my voice at him, and that was just, he was not moving. He was not budging. And finally it hit me. I was like, you know what? If I was him, it would really not encourage me if my owner was getting in my face like this and yelling at me. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a different approach. And I got down there and I said, "Hey, buddy," I said, "you got this. You got this. You can get out here and do this. You can poop on this wet grass. I know you can. You can do it, buddy. You're a good boy. You're the goodest boy in the world." And he stood up. And I said, "Yeah, bud, that's good. That's good. Come on, buddy." And he took another step. And he took another step. And then he was outside before I knew it. Then he was in the grass, standing in the wet grass. And by this point, I may as well have had some pom-poms. I was like, "Yeah, come on, bud. Woohoo. You got this, buddy. You're doing so good." And then he went number two in the grass. And I looked like a dummy because I'm standing there going, "Yeah, woohoo. You pooped, bud. Woo." And he was so excited. He's like, "Oh, man, I did it. I pooped in the wet grass." So then I brought him inside. I gave him 3 treats for that. We usually only give him 1. I gave him 3. Don't tell his mom. But he was such a good boy, and he was so brave that day when he looks crazy right now. But he was so brave that day, he overcame his fear of the wet grass. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is everybody out there is dealing with fear and insecurity and different things. And for him, it was the wet grass. But for other people, it's a bunch of different things. Nobody needs you to go out there and yell at them and hit them over the head and get in their face and yell at them and be mad at them and yell at them on social media. Nobody's looking for that. Nobody's going to respond to that. There's enough mean people out there. We don't need more of that. What people need is for somebody to get down there and say, "Hey, you got this, bud. You can do this. I know you can do this. Whatever it is you got to do today, hey, you can do this. I know, I believe in you. You can go out there. You can conquer that." That's what it took for him to go outside and take care of his business in the wet grass. He goes all the time in the wet grass now. And all it took was for me to stop yelling and stop being frustrated and instead to get down there and say, "Hey, you got this, bud. You can do this. You're the goodest boy in the world." Hey, people just need to be encouraged to poop in the wet grass.